There is a football match happening at this World Cup that has nothing to do with football. Iran versus the United States, two countries that have not had formal diplomatic relations for over 4 decades. Two countries that, right now in 2026, are effectively at war, and they are being asked to share a football pitch on American soil in front of tens of thousands of fans, with the whole world watching. Let that sink in. To understand why this match is unlike anything else in this tournament, you need to go back. In 1979, Iran had a revolution. The government that replaced the old one viewed the United States as the enemy of the Iranian people. They called America the Great Satan. 19 years later, at the 1998 World Cup in France, the two nations were drawn into the same group. FIFA had to spend months figuring out how to simply get them on the same pitch without a diplomatic incident. Iran's supreme leader personally ordered his players not to walk toward the Americans for the pre-match handshake. That is not a metaphor. That was a real instruction from a real government about a real handshake before a football match. Here is where it gets interesting. What happened instead became one of the most memorable moments in World Cup history. The Iranian players walked onto the pitch and handed white roses to the American players as a gesture of peace. Both teams posed together for a joint photograph, and then Iran won 2-1 in what is still described as the most politically charged match ever played at a World Cup. People celebrated in the streets of Tehran, not just because Iran had won a football match, because they had beaten the Great Satan. Fast forward to 2022 in Qatar. Same fixture, same tension. This time, the United States Soccer Federation briefly changed Iran's flag on their social media to remove the emblem of the Islamic Republic in a show of support for protesters inside Iran. Iran complained to FIFA. The American Federation reversed course within hours, and then both teams played, with the USA winning 1-0 to knock Iran out of the tournament. More protests in Iranian streets, this time because their team had lost. In theory, a football match is just a football match. In practice, Iran versus the United States is never just a football match, and 2026 has made everything more complicated. The United States launched strikes on Iran earlier this year. The two countries are not just diplomatically hostile, they are in active conflict. And yet here is Iran, playing 3 group stage matches on US soil, in Los Angeles, in Seattle. The United States revoked Iran's ticket allocation for their own fans just 3 days before the tournament started. Iran's federation accused America of political interference in sport. 15 members of Iran's support staff were denied visas. The Iranian team had to move their entire training base from Arizona to Tijuana, just across the Mexican border, because they did not feel safe enough to stay in the United States. A team competing at the World Cup in the host nation did not feel safe enough to train in that country. And this is before a ball has been kicked between them. Whether or not they actually meet on the pitch in 2026, the situation has already produced something that no other fixture at this tournament can match. A flag appearing on a screen inside a US stadium before the USA's opening match drew loud, coordinated boos from the crowd. That flag belonged to Iran. The two nations do not even need to play each other for the tension to be felt by everyone in the building. The Iranian players are footballers, most of them play in clubs around the world. They did not choose this geopolitical backdrop. They qualified for a World Cup and they want to compete. The American players are in the exact same position. None of them started a war, but football has always had a way of making the world's biggest problems impossible to ignore. The 1998 match showed us that even in the middle of decades of hostility, 2 groups of young men can hand each other flowers and take a photograph together. That image traveled around the world and meant something to people on both sides. Whether anything like that is possible in 2026 is a different question entirely. The situation is more tense, not less. The politics are louder, not quieter, and the stakes, both on and off the pitch, are higher than they have been for this fixture at any point in its complicated history. Football is supposed to be the thing that brings the world together. This match is the annual reminder that the world does not always want to be brought together. You are welcome.